Welcome back. It is Tuesday, November 18th in the NBA, and my three favorite picks are on the way. What's going on, everyone? It's Logan from Calling Our Shot. Again, if you are expecting Austin in this chair, sorry to disappoint. It is just Logan. His wife just gave birth to his firstborn. He'll probably tell you a little bit more about that if you do follow Calling Our Shot on Twitter. But in the meantime, my job is to just not blow things up. Just keep the winning as usual, and that's going to be my goal. Again, the scheduling of the post of this video might be a little bit different than what you're expecting with Austin because I work another job. After I record this video, I go to work myself. But still, we're going to try to get the post out to the Dub Club and everything of that sort as best as I can consistently. The goal, Austin said to me personally, is for him to return Friday. So you're left with a backup quarterback, Tyrod Taylor. I'm going to be Tyrod Taylor. You're left with a backup quarterback, until potentially Friday. But again, we're going to hopefully continue the winning that's been going on in the NBA. And then again, you can expect me in the NFL videos. I'll be recording the NFL slate breakdown video tonight, and again as well as one for Thursday. So even without Austin here and taking care of his baby, which I wish him luck on, we're gonna I'm gonna hold down the channel in the meantime. Let's talk about the most recent Saturday recap. 1-1 plus 0.35 units. Take that. Season wide plus 5 units. A little over 5 units on the season. Again, not a full recap slide because Austin does have access to the full recap slide. He'll tally all those numbers when he does get back. But I'm just in the interim. I'm gonna create little small banners like that, and hopefully that works for you guys. We'll still recap the picks every day. Again, that was the most recent Saturday video, but today we're here to talk about Tuesday picks. And the way this video is going to be structured, Austin gave me 2 player props he really likes, and then I gave a spread pick as well. So we're going to combine the 3 picks in this video, and we're going to hopefully have a winning day. I absolutely do love the picks, and let's just dive right into where we're starting today. It's going to be a player prop, and as I mentioned, Austin gave me his blessing. This is one that he really did like. It's going to be Devin Booker of the Suns over 28.5 points, minus 128 odds on FanDuel. Now, playable at 29.5, but you like the juice a little bit better at 28.5 in case this is a sharp line. You're asking him to score 30 points if you do take it at 29.5. So just a little bit of caution there. Devin Booker still an elite scorer. His last 5 games versus the Trailblazers, 34, 28, 28, 37, and 34 points. So, you're hitting the over consistently, but you are ending on the hook a couple times in there. So hopefully he does not hook us today. But in those games, Kevin Durant was on his team. That's a big scoring presence. And with no Grayson Allen, no Jalen Green, he will have to step up the scoring alongside Brooks. Brooks has been hot the last 2 games, but on the road in this spot, this is where Devin Booker will need to step up. I mean, stars in big-time spots, they step up and they really show why they are superstars in this league. That's what Devin Booker is going to have to do. And he has a great matchup against Portland today because, Portland 30th in opponent mid-range, where Booker shoots 25% of his shots. They're also 21st in opponent on the block scoring, where Booker scores 24% of his shots. So that's a good bulk of Booker scoring right there. And then Portland's perimeter defense on the season's been pretty, decent, but without Holiday, he's likely going to be guarded by Kamara on an island. And I just don't really like that matchup for him. I think Booker, absolutely cooks in this one. Also worth noting, Portland is the 2nd fastest team in pace and a great spot up defense. The players surrounding Booker, outside of centers and Brooks, are all catch and shoot guys, which should funnel more shots Booker's way. I just think that if you're looking at Booker, he's just in a position to really score today. When he attempts 20 plus field goal attempts, this bet hits at a 70% rate, 21 of 30, if you're looking at hit rate in totality. So I really do like the numbers. I think they totally support Devin Booker. And again, Austin gave me his blessing. He found time in between taking care of the baby to look at some props he really liked. Devin Booker, him and I are both riding with today. We need 29 points. If you want to score 30 plus, Booker, be my guest. I love that as the first pick of the day. Let's dive into another prop. It's going to be an under and a little bit juicy, but I think this one is a guaranteed winner. Moses Moody of the Warriors, under 2.5 threes, minus 147 on DraftKings. Now, playable up to like minus 175, but at that rate, you might as well put it as a parlay piece. Go find something else on the slate that you really do like. Maybe you bet hockey. Maybe this is something you pair with a juiced hockey money line. I don't know what you want to do, but I think Moses Moody does go under 2.5 threes. We're fading Moody off a game he just had 8 threes. Now, in the NBA, you can have success fading a guy off a crazy 30-plus point performance in which a game which he had 8 threes. Pelicans had absolutely no answers for him. But in this matchup, it's a tougher matchup because he's on the road against the Orlando Magic in this one. And Orlando's third best in defense against the spot up, where Moody gets 44% of his points from. So he generates most of his offense where Orlando is elite defensively. Orlando's also sixth best in transition, where Moody gets another 24% of his points. Combined, they're elite where Moody generates almost 70% of his offensive output from. I think the Magic are going to absolutely take care of this guy. Now, the other guys in the Warriors, maybe they step up a little bit, but this is not another Moody 3+3 game. It's just not going to happen. His last 5 road games, look at the seesaw effect. 8-0, 5-2-0 threes made. So I mean, you got a few zeros in there. Goose egg. I'd absolutely love that. No sweat bet in this one. But even in some of those games, if it's not an 8 or a 5, he's still scoring just getting 2 threes in this one. He's boom or bust, and likely bust against an elite Magic defense. And off an 8 3-point game against the Pelicans, where they just had no answers for him. Sometimes that happens where a guy just goes bananas. We're willing to bet that he doesn't do that today, and I really do like that as the second player prop. Yes, a little bit juicy, but again, risking a full unit on it, I'll take it. And if it does get too juice throughout the day, go ahead and parlay it with something else that you like. Maybe one of these picks. But let's lead into the spreads. Now, Austin doesn't touch spreads in the NBA. I fully understand why, because, they can be a little bit volatile when you're betting spreads. Now, I've been following the NBA this season. Austin's been the one on camera, but I still found a spread pick that I really do like. Again, tail with caution, because I'm not like fully dialed in daily to what Austin's doing, but I like this one, and I'm only going to play it at a half unit. It's going to be, hold on, let me get the slide up there. Memphis Grizzlies +6.5, -115 odds on DraftKings. Again, we have a couple juice player props, so I had to find a spread that I like that was just, pretty much even odds. That's what we're rolling with the Memphis Grizzlies here. Let's see if we can get hot with spreads while Austin is away. Now, again, I mentioned he's risk averse when it comes to spreads and totals in the NBA. He says, I'd much rather bet player props, but at a half unit, in this one, I think we can go ahead and do it. The slide does not say a half unit, but I'm specifying right now we are playing a half unit on it. This pick also is great if you've never bet NBA spreads. If maybe you're new to them, a little bit cautious about them, there's something called key numbers, and that's what I try to get when I'm betting NBA spreads, especially if I'm betting an underdog, because this pick at +6.5 includes 2 of the top 3 key numbers in NBA spread betting, 5 and 6 being 2 of the most common margins of victory. If the line does move to 7.5, though, I'd love it even more there, because the third key number of the top 3 key numbers is 7. So if you get 7, 6, 5, and 6, you're covering all the key numbers there. If they end on 7, if the Grizzlies lose by 7, I'm just cursed, and maybe spreads aren't meant to be. But the Grizzlies have lost 4 in a row, so there's a little bit of value on a team sliding like this. The line opened at like double digits, I'm pretty sure. They showed some fight in their most recent game, though, in Cleveland, losing by only 8. That's something I really needed to see from this Grizzlies team, because previously they were getting boat raced in all of those games. In that game, Ja Morant left early. He only played 5 minutes. So the team was able to keep that margin under double digits even without his production. And if you look at Ja Morant, he's elite. He's a superstar for a reason. But even with Ja out, I think they show some fight tonight, because this Grizzlies team is just next man up mentality. They do have a lot of guys that can still produce without him. And then we talk about they face a banged up Spurs team, missing Stephon Castle and Wembanyama as well. Missing Wemby is not only missing his offense, 26 points per game, but also his interior defense and rebounding. That's what I really want to stress in this matchup, because Wemby's a big reason why the Spurs are 4th in defensive rating. And while it didn't really matter in their last game against the Kings, I think the Grizzlies will be able to attack the paint and in transition. The Grizzlies are 5th in pace, 13th in fast break points per game. You look at kind of who the Spurs will most likely start down low. Luke Cornett, Harrison Barnes at the 4-5, anchored in the interior defense. I think the Grizzlies absolutely exploit that, even if they want to bring Sohan and anyone off the bench. I just think this is a great matchup for guys like Edey, Jaren Jackson, Salty Aldama. I think all those guys have a lot easier time scoring without Wemby being the paint presence that he is, because I wouldn't want to personally shoot over that guy. This is a big time spot for the Grizzlies to kind of stop the skid against a banged up Spurs team. I understand they're on the road. I understand this team has not been good. They only have 4 wins to their name. But this is a spot in the NBA where weird things happen. And I'll take underdog spreads a lot more often than not in the NBA, where any given night, some of these guys can really perform. And I think even missing Ja Morant, this Grizzlies team shows a little bit of fight and a little bit of heart tonight. And they cover that 6.5. They could potentially win this game outright. I think they're a live underdog, but I really do like them as the spread pick of the day. We'll see if we could get hot on spreads. If they get hot, maybe Austin wants to keep them. I'll have to convince him. But again, the 2-player props, we're playing for 1 unit. The spread pick, we're going to just play at a half unit, unless I'm just completely dialed on them. Then maybe I can convince Austin to keep him once he does come back. But let's do a quick recap of the 3 picks. We had Booker's over 28.5 points. We had Moses Moody under 2.5 threes. And then we also have the Grizzlies plus 6.5. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, we're in a mini transition period as Austin does take care of his baby. Again, wish him well as a dad now. But I hopefully we do not skip a beat with me just here to fill in the interim. He likely is back Friday. Again, don't want to set that in stone. But again, thanks for bearing with me, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.